think it's great when people have different interpretations to songs. It gives a song new life, new value, and it's really, I look at it, it's none of my business what anybody else thinks of my song, whether they love it or hate it, whether they interpret it one way or not. It's their song at that point. It's their interpretation, and I think that's one of the things that's really nice about music. Love, Lust, Faith, and Dreams to me are the emotional, the human equivalent to the four elements. I think they're essential for life itself. I don't think that you can live without one of those four. Well, I think Love, Lust, Faith, and Dreams is a different album for us in a lot of ways. Lyrically, it walks down a different path. This Is War was an album that we made under a certain amount of duress. We were being sued by a record company. It was us against the world. And so a lot of the songs were about that. We're about survival. We're about conflict. Love, Lust, Faith, and Dreams is much more introspective. It's much more intimate, much more lyrical, and in some ways imaginative. We actually, in the CD itself, we have a graph that shows you where we think the songs belong. Like, for example, End of All Days touches upon faith and lust. Up in the Air could be dreams, lust, and faith. They all connect. The album is, conceptual in that way, that it deals with these four specific things. This album was unique because a lot of the songs came very quickly. Lyrics usually came with melody, came with chord progression. So it was simultaneous. I would work on songs and I could be walking down the street and they would just come to light. It's interesting how you ask some people this question, because some people, the songwriting process starts with, well, I figure out which songwriter I want to work with, which song I want to purchase. I listen to a bunch of tapes, demo tapes, and say, oh, that's the one I want to work on. We've never used that process. That's not for us. I think that exists more in the pop world. But for us, it starts with listening to yourself, to your heart, your head, your gut, and seeing what comes out, being creative, exploring, listening to your instinct. It's kind of like having a kid. Making love lasts, depending on who you are, either a short while or a little while, but it's just a while, and then raising the kid takes quite some time. Songs are like that. There's an initial kind of wham bam, thank you ma'am, a creative inspiration, and then there's the period that's time consuming and you have to be patient and understanding. City of Angels is probably the most important song on the album in some ways. So. It's a song that's incredibly personal, maybe the most personal song that I've ever written, and we play it on stage every night, and it's always magical. The City of Angels lyric videos, I was going back and forth with the record label, and they were doing a great job trying to help find a lyric video. What's the lyric video for City of Angels? And we were exploring all kinds of different avenues and couldn't nail it. I finally just said, fuck it. I grabbed a camera, I went up to the Hollywood Hills and I shot it myself. It's largely one take. There are a couple of cutaways. It's nice to be able to share a sunset with people. It's a magical time. It's overlooking the city. We captured I think something was special about the performance, and yeah, maybe that should just be the video. And then I'm done.
There was truth, there was consequence against you. A weak defense, then there's me. I'm 17, looking for a fight. All my life, I was never there, I'm just a ghost.
Songs always change. They never stop changing. Every time you hear a song, you hear it differently because you've changed. You learn, you your perspective changes. I think that you can work on a song forever, and you can hear a song differently forever. That's what keeps it interesting. As long as you're touching people, you don't always have to make sense for it to be worthy, or to make it feel right. I mean, the Beatles did that wonderfully with Sgt. Pepper's, where there's an intention, but not necessarily a literal narrative or something that is easily defined. Everything inspires everything else, and sharing deep personal moments with people is always really, it teaches you a lot about life, about possibilities, about
yourself.
Yeah.
The city of angels. The city of angels. The city